What is good, YouTube? It is the Mandolin, and today we are here today with an all-new video. Today we've got the Ichigo versus Yusuke death battle. Now, I'm gonna just come right out and say it. Ichigo is winning this, without a doubt. I don't think anyone thinks anything else. Like in this scenario, Ichigo is he just wins this. There's no kind of debate, nothing two which ways about it. We're just gonna see if they scale him and Yusuke properly, basically. See how it goes, watch a cool fight. We're just here for a good time, basically. So, no agendas, nothing on the line. Just a clean wash for Ichigo. Really, I wish they just remade Ichigo versus Naruto and just corrected the mistakes they had in the past. That or like Madara versus Aizen, where they gave like terrible verdicts and stuff, where it was just wholly incorrect information. So, but this should still fix some of that for Ichigo. I mean, even if they lowball him and highball Yusuke, it should still be a clean wash. Like this is really not a debate, but we're gonna check it out regardless. See what they got in store for us here today, and just enjoy a cool little fight. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. And both of these are my boys. I grew up with YuYu and Bleach. I love both of them equally. I had them
Ichigo
both
Kurosaki
on VHS
versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of YuYu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Yeah,
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness.
Okay, we're getting Ichigo
Jeez, man,
first.
I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second
boy.
guess.
They gotta
And when a
get
soul
Ichigo
goes astray
at least
or
solar
by
system
evil
level
and
Ichigo,
regret,
at least.
it's a Shinigami's
At
job
worst,
to purify
really
such
low ball.
violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul
Otherwise, though,
Society.
should be like
Works
3
great
universes.
till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow.
Yes,
Reason
sir.
number one
Yes,
why
sir.
you should never want your
Chocolate
kid to be the
Shakespeare
anime
original.
protagonist.
Ichigo
Left
does
with his
enjoy
grief,
Shakespeare.
young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like
sir.
that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi.
Reishi.
He can wield
Yes, sir.
vast amounts of spiritual energy called Ryoku and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong,
Shinigami
he can
invisible,
stun-lock
they're
foes,
non-intelligent,
crushing them under his own
so
power,
check it out,
even
so-
fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting
that's how
skills
they
like
fly.
Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye to
Yeah.
the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello to the town's new superhero with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime,
Super- yeah,
Chad,
let's say, yeah.
and Uryu, plus Rukia. It
Squad
was the
up.
Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing
Also, Chad,
responsibilities
like,
at school,
murdered
of
those
course.
people in that building,
GPA
blow
comes
that up.
first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be
sir,
possible
yeah,
without
that
his
did make it
Shinigami
sound-
blade, a Zanpakuto.
Zanpakuto.
It's basically a super-powered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost
Those
sword.
pronunciations
Though
was crazy right there.
strangely,
Zanpakuto.
Ichigo's sword is composed of 2 distinct spirits, both
Yes,
named
sir.
Zangetsu,
White and-
which isn't confusing at all.
Just
Yeah,
call him Old
Zangetsu
Man
and
Zangetsu
Yubabaha.
and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double ghost sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the sword beam to end all sword beams. Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is
Funny 'cause
incredibly
Ishin also
powerful
has that.
and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine 2 at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the
Yep.
biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande.
I'm
And
digging
these
the
aren't
quality.
fake
It was
slower than light
choppy.
lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow
Yeah, the
behind.
shadow.
But
yeah,
as
that
Ichigo
one is
became more
famous.
involved with the Soul Society,
On
he
Yero,
quickly
dodging
found
sunlight,
that he wasn't
Lieutenant
good
dodging
enough.
Negacion.
This
Yeah, they
Byakuya
talk
guy's
about
so
all that.
fast,
So, yeah.
Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now,
Light went
Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
Yes, sir.
Kai!
Just to
In
master.
Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole freaking Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimmjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
Let's say, but he was holding back
Yeah,
against Grimmjow.
but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen.
Smash that kitty
With
is
just a finger, Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song, Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old Man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to
they
crush
get the
Kukiura in a
scream!
battle that shook all of
I love that hollow
Mundo, the
scream.
world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
Gates of
But
hell.
with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura,
Aizen evolved to
and flexed
threaten
so
the
hard he
Soul King.
smashed out of the black
Stabilizes the
coffin,
3 realms.
which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating
And this is
Aizen
where true
at the
Shikai
cost
is.
of
This is
all
his base
power.
form
He
later.
might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yuhabak.
Who planned to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his 2 Sanbakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other Hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo
the
a
1,000-year
perfect
blood
union
war
to
footage is
break
so good,
Yuhabak's
man.
plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. Dead. Undead. Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yuhabak, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yuhabak could nuke all 3 realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo. Plus the Dangai and Gargaza in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yuhabak was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack. The Grand Ray Zero.
Making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai. A power so great, even Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death.
Because there's some more hell stuff too, but I don't know if they'll talk about that. It's not like nothing happens.
Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life. However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter who the ops are, be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares
Okay.
about stupid things like
Fighting
friends
Virtual
and
Fighter
family?
Keiko.
Which is why it was
That must
so
have been a manga
surprising
thing. The
when
Virtual
one
Fighters,
day
I don't
he
remember that in
threw
anime.
himself in front of a speeding car to
Yeah,
save
the
a
original
child,
Shona Trash
bringing that
Talker. So
reckless
true.
life
That's the
to
goat
a
right
screeching
there.
Ah, Truck-kun claims another
Hey,
victim.
boy,
But
Yusuke
this
so
is
goated,
chapter
man.
1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It
Botan.
was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately,
Man,
or
YuYu and
I guess
Bleach are so
fortunately
good,
for
right?
him,
You know,
he was
I'll give it
such
that.
an
Two goats are
asshole
fighting
that
right
the
now.
underworld didn't see
Despite
his
Ichigo
selfless
watching,
death
two
coming.
goats are fighting,
and
and I'm
didn't
all
have any
for it.
space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
So the underworld surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation and told Satan Jr. to
Yeah.
stuff it. I mean, he was never really good for anything and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like
Oh,
his
yeah, he did
mom would be
contend with
sad
that.
or his childhood
Or
sweetheart
Keiko.
Keiko would be
Yep.
heartbroken
Or
or even his
Kuwabara.
rival Kuwabara would shed manly
Yep.
tears. Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones
Even
who
the
cared
principal.
far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound
Hey,
ass-kicking
hey.
ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy.
Spirit
He's
energy,
ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to
Yep.
mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of
Yeah.
legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to
Spirit gun.
smithereens.
My favorite
Yep.
shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun. At first, Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his
That- yeah,
personal
grew out of that.
WMD. Stronger than any
Yeah.
weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he
Shotgun.
wants.
The
Yes,
spirit
sir.
gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a Spirit Shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a Spirit Punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And
Yes,
the
sir.
Spirit Wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be
Yeah,
a punk,
yeah.
but he's deceptively skilled and cunning
Oh,
in
bro,
battle.
this fight
He's
against
not
the
afraid
doctor
to
was one of
fight
the
dirty,
best, bro.
throwing his
That was
shoes,
one of the best.
using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart. And his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best
sir.
secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power
he'll
will
lock in,
spike
yeah.
to match stronger enemies, even if it
Yep.
means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from
Yep.
E to S.
Goro,
A and
yeah.
D-class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way.
Yeah, mountain.
A and S?
Yeah,
well,
mountain
hold
city.
on to your ass.
The world.
We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies like demons Hiei and
Kagura
Kurama,
was only
as
a
well as
B
his old pal
class.
Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize
Yep.
weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke
Yep.
needed to survive and protect his loved ones. So he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks,
star,
Genkai!
yeah.
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red
Yep.
dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Oh, we're
Enough
going
to send
oh,
Toguro
9
to the
teratoms. Okay,
grave.
so they're giving
Even
him
after
country level
pushing
scale.
past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past
Sensui,
spirit
yep.
detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was
Yeah.
so
He
yoked,
was
he
also
couldn't
had, like,
even
holy-
use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted.
Yep, if he
and
wanted
even
to,
A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong
Yeah.
as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy.
And
do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally.
Yes, sir.
Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of
is
the
that, Ryzen or
strongest
something?
in existence. Ryzen, the demon.
Yeah.
With his
I
berserker
remember.
mark, Yusuke can channel Ryzen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi?
Yes,
We
sir.
can worry
Lots
about
of
that
it.
later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl,
Yeah,
baby,
a lot
or
of self-reflection
grandparents
in
is
Hakusho.
first?
And
Even
a lot of
then,
different
as
points.
Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Ryzen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's sacred energy, but even better.
Yeah.
It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him
a
above
solid
all
planet
else.
level
And it was in
Hakusho.
those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Yes, sir. That's the GOAT right there.
Long has its
Ichigo got
return
this.
been foretold, but now, finally, it is reborn.
The original Death Battle shirt that once dominated the world. Hell yeah, there's no better.
Okay, well, we'll let them get that little ad segment in. You know, get your little bag, but woo, yeah, Ichigo's got this in the bag. Like, it's just, there's no contest here. Love my guy Yusuke. This was a great breakdown. They did a great breakdown for the both of them. Like, I'm really enjoying this so far. But yeah, there's just no contest here. Ichigo is like just mauling dude, and it's gonna be a cool fight though. It's gonna be a cool fight for sure. So hey, you know, let's get back to it. It looks like they're about to be done with their little ad segment. I really like how they represented both characters though.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Here it is. I wonder how crazy they're gonna go with the sprites. This is some high quality right there.
Demon. That's hollow. No doubt about it.
Yeah, he thought he was a demon. He thought he was a hollow. Okay, that's crazy. You know, more than a hollow, I feel like Ichigo would think he's a hollow. That's hard. I mean, he doesn't have a mask, but if he's still in that or like a visor. He's not gonna be like a visor. So I honestly don't know if he would fight just off of that. Not that got Ichigo. True Sheik had Ichigo getting hurt by Yusuke. It's crazy. Random minnows.
Chop change.
Yeah, he can absolutely just like Yusuke. Oh, we're in the Donga.
Little demon energy got you scared? Nah.
They're probably gonna have Ichigo go Bankai even though he don't need it.
Getsuga!
Oh, they're going crazy with this though.
Once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. Crazy.
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour
Oh, he's
him
already
together.
transformed. Oh, they can heal that one rising. Hold on, that actually is crazy.
This is my fight, jackass! You just don't be back!
Oh, okay, he got the marks. Nah, they're going crazy. So they're gonna actually get out of the Dongai or the between realms. Oh,
Rude
okay,
awakening.
that's
This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner?
Let's do it.
okay. The
Like old
hollow.
times.
Not the breaking out through another dimension. Yeah, that's gonna move that. Oh no, they're going crazy with this fight anyway.
I can go even faster
crazy.
if you'd like. Hell yeah!
Oh, no,
Bring it on, asshole!
Nah, they're going crazy with this action.
I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same!
Hey, they're blazing Yusuke for that. Ooh, Brown Race Arrow. Yeah. Ooh. Let's have a split. Let's lucky make it split the point.
See you on the other side.
Hey, that was a fight. That was hype. They killed that. They killed that.
You think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem
I'm gonna be real.
and resist
Ichigo should
auras
take
like
every single one of
Takuro's
those.
that are similar
Every
to
single one of
Ryatsu. So
But
Ichigo
they're probably
couldn't
gonna get
cheese a
Yusuke.
win right away.
Otherwise,
abilities
Yusuke
or
was
something.
outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor,
Yeah.
greater stamina given his months of Dongai training.
And all those swords.
Yeah,
he
that was
just
months
had way
straight,
more
yeah.
abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to
Yeah.
lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see
Yep.
Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of
Yep.
training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms
Oh,
at
they're-
thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo
Yeah,
reacted to
yeah.
attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But
Without a
Yusuke's
doubt.
fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their
So they're going
tactics
from like
and
a-
ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is
I'll
kind
give him
of
that, I'll
both
give
their
him that.
things. Ichigo has styled on guys
So they're gonna
with
give him
centuries
equal.
of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring
Yeah.
out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match
Yeah.
Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So both had
Yeah,
their strong
yeah.
suits, with advantages on each side.
national
It's
champion
fair to
of
call
Marvel.
this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly,
Yeah,
mid-series
that-
Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak,
Right,
who could destroy
mid-series
several
Ichigo.
realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair,
they
Yusuke
are
also
universe
beat
size.
Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time. Pretty close to Yuhabak's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far
No,
surpassed
it's
Yakumo
not the
afterward.
same.
The gap between
Not the
him and
same.
Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yhwach was also gonna destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet.
They just called him Yusuke.
Plus, Ichigo
So they're still nerfing it
because without
they
his
outright
additional
called
boost from
the Soul
Apollo
Society
and
and the
Shubanka.
Living
As
World
always with
universe.
Death Battle, there's
And
arguments
Wing
either
Computer.
way. But the
Parallel
way we
universe.
see
They
it,
say it
even
like
being generous with
bunch of
Yusuke's
times.
power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was
Yeah, it'll
just
be a
too
very
big,
conservative.
giving
But yeah,
Ichigo
even
the
Blob being
final
super
edge.
conservative,
Sorry
Ichigo
if
takes
things
that.
got messy, but that's just how Ichigo's.
Human
The
World,
winner
Demon World
is
is just
Ichigo
those 2 planets
Kurosaki.
and YuYu.
Next
That's
time
not at all
on
the same.
Death Battle.
Metal Sonic and Cell, Metal Sonic and Cell. Metal got this, by the way. Like, base Metal Sonic got this.
Subscribe and join as a member
don't
to
even need
see
super.
more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Death Battle is back.
Oh yeah. No, that was a solid
Pikachu.
little death. That was a solid little death battle right there. Oh, I need to watch Ash versus Yugi. We're gonna get that next. I'm gonna do Ash versus Yugi too. But no, these are some solid. These 2 were solid death battles. I'll give them that. They really bodied this. Shoot, yeah, but we knew Ichigo was in it from the jump. But yeah, that'll be all we have for today's video here. If you liked what you watched, be sure to like on the video, comment, subscribe for more content. This otherwise has been a Mandolin. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.